Let's go chat him up.
Mind if I steal all this?
It's kind of hot in hell.
What can I say except the N-word?
Why did I know your voice was gonna sound like that?
I've talked on voice chat a shit ton in NCBA, so I don't know how you haven't heard me.
Not in Discord.
I've never been in a
every
channel with
admin
you.
server. Uriel, Chef Homo, pretty much all of them have heard me speak several times.
Okay, cool. I guess it's the first for just me then.
Yeah. No, it's a first for me too.
Oh, cool.
Welcome to hell.
Lonely, would you like to meet the troublemaker?
Whoa.
Unmute me, you gay mods.
What? I
Okay,
was too busy
if you want to
sucking
get
a lot.
unmuted, first of all, you gotta insult me better than that.
Yeah, man, that was kind of weak.
You know, from all this common sense you're bringing to the table earlier in Dark RP chat, and all this intellect you say you got and you haven't, I expect
and I will
better.
own you, you fucking
Expect
libtard.
better.
Mods are gay, autistic faggots and deserve to be gassed.
Ladies first. Uriel.
Ouch.
Okay, it's gonna go Uriel, Gabe, me,
Wait,
Harvey,
what?
and then Lonely's gonna cry his eyes out and fucking shoot himself.
Unmute me so that I can spam 4chan
You're not getting unmuted.
I want to spam 4chan
But
screenshots.
dude.
Unmute me in Satan's circle.
Yeah, I don't
here.
think anyone opened those, because I damn well didn't.
I think I
didn't
may
either.
have. I don't know.
If anyone did, it was you, Uriel.
What? Can't.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Nothing, dude.
No. Just don't dig into it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it.
Better not.
I know you like shiny things, and that link looked pretty shiny, so I
And
guess.
dick, because you're a gay mod.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Now
okay.
unmute
So, Gabe,
faggots.
you keep calling me gay, and all I hear is gay, gay, gay. Are you gay, and are you ready for me to suck your dick so hard?
Hold on, I have a perfect picture for this.
Well, good luck sending it to me, because I got you blocked.
Yep, I'll figure out a way.
Okay.
Well, now I'm intrigued.
Go back to your quiz. You had 10 minutes left.
Fuck, I have 40.
Bro, do your quiz!
It's okay, I'm on the last question, and I just want to, like, pass it. That's all at this point.
I low-key, these backgrounds make me want to play Siege now, bro.
I don't blame you.
Oh, you changed the color for the roll, Larry?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Told you. I was
Oh,
changing.
you went with what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah! I like it.
The damned. So now whenever people break the rules, we can get staff
Alright,
spamming.
I managed
Damn
to
them
send
to
them
hell.
Harvey. That
That's
describes
great.
what you said perfectly, what I just sent to Harvey.
Alright, I'll check when I have time for your nonsense.
I don't have you blocked. I could have it. You could
I'm glad I figured out the issue. By the way, I figured out why people were allowed to change their names. The opt-in/opt-out divider gave them permissions to actually change their names.
Oh.
And
It was
I
Rosa
fixed that.
Parks saying, nah.
Oh my god.
Damn, we got a good memer here. What else you got?
I have Ben Shapiro memes where he owns libtards by viciously raping them.
Yes, that's.
But do you have anything funny?
Libtards.
Huh?
Do you have anything funny?
Yes, I do.
Alright, let me know.
I put $5 down to say
deport
you
you all to
don't.
Mexico, and then I'll get to have the server.
You know what, Larry? I'll take that bet.
You'll take that bet?
Yeah.
That he doesn't have anything funny?
Yeah.
You're just gonna fake laugh.
No.
Yes.
I would never.
Stop acting like Seth.
Fuck. What's 81 divided by 3? Never mind.
Your mom.
Oh my god, he's so close.
I'm technically using terrible memes.
It's 27.
Hey, what's your girlfriend's name, Gabe?
Huh?
What's your girlfriend's name, Gabe?
I
What's
don't
your
think his
girlfriend's name?
sister can count as a girlfriend.
Oh my
That's
god.
rough.
Rough.
At least I get pussy. At least I don't fuck my brother like you.
Hey, I didn't
Game
fuck my
on.
brother. I fucked my best friend's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, my brother's pretty cool, dude.
Harvey, wait, I thought we were fucking Harvey. Weren't we? You're just gonna mute your mic. Okay, nice. Just leave me hanging like that.
My brother gets some action too, dog.
Oh, he
Like,
does?
come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe
I mean,
you.
we're not exclusive, you know.
So when am I gonna get to hit up your sister? I know you were talking about her a while back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put a pin in that conversation.
You can hit up my sister.
Is your sister, like, old? Do you even have a sister?
Yeah, I do have a sister.
Oh, really?
Yes. I also have a brother, and his name is Seth Williams.
Seth T.
Wait.
Williams. Alright, I don't think I got very many of these questions right.
I don't
Bro.
either. I don't know. I mean, the whole time we just had to deal with nonsense, so it's okay.
I've been dicking around this whole time. Oh, I got a 90. Fuck it, dude. Not bad. Alright, where's this gay shit? Yo, you didn't send me anything, Gabe.
Huh?
Oh,
Okay.
no, my laptop's just laggy. Okay, hang on. Yeah, okay, that was a waste of a click.
You are a waste of sperm.
What? Wait, what?
Ouch.
A waste of sperm. How does
You
that
were
work?
only born because you
That-
sucked the dick of the rest of the sperm and then you ran away.
What? Whoa, please take sex ed.
You know where I'm from, Gabe, we have a phrase for people like you.
Faggot.
Oxygen
You are,
thief.
and you invented.
Oxygen thief.
Bro, stop being such an oxygen thief, bro. Bro,
Yo,
stop
yo,
stealing it.
yo, I'm gonna use it on Avery, Harvey.
Oh my god, dude, she's gonna go ballistic.
Yeah, dude, no, she gonna flip the fuck out.
She's gonna be like, it's gonna take her a couple seconds to process that.
Mic off.
And then she's gonna get pissed.
Mic on.
Okay, I'm finally pulling out my homework.
Really? I'm putting away my homework, dude.
Okay, this isn't my homework. This is. Okay.
It's not said, it's say. Alright, Gabe. Look, you get one more shot. Send me your finest meme, okay? But if it's bad, I'm gonna block you.
Oh my
Like if
God.
it's not,
He's
You're
just gonna
sending
send
good
you a
memes,
guy whipping his
alright.
dick out.
if it's objectively not funny, I'm gonna block you. Just try harder, please.
You might as well just hit him with a preemptive block. Honestly.
Yeah. And you know what, Gabe? You have 30 seconds. Okay.
Give him a timer, that's even better.
Stop listening to iTunes. Rule
Yeah,
34,
dude,
that's not even a joke.
Honestly, bro,
I
I saw that you're listening to
need to look in the
iTunes,
search
and I
bar.
lost my
I-
shit.
That's not funny.
It's extremely funny.
Black people
34?
black people
it's
do have rights.
If it exists, there's porn of it. Rule 34. It's not funny. It's funny what you find on the site, but Rule 34 itself isn't funny.
Yeah,
Well, no, you have to look
I
in
had
the
to
search
block
bar
him.
to get the joke.
Sorry. I saw the joke. I just didn't think it was funny. It's just it's
the joke
overused.
is that black people don't have rights.
I understand that, but it's so overused.
This is why you're a gay mod and not a 4chan poster.
Yeah.
No, I'll have you
He's
know
a
that
mod. He's a
bisexual
mod.
community, not a gay mod, alright?
You suck Moot's dick.
Who's dick?
Moot,
I have no idea who that is.
4chan admin.
I don't.
4chan.
I'm not autistic, so I don't use 4chan. Sorry.
I don't tend to visit sites when people used to embed IP grabbers into images when you click on them.
That doesn't exist, sorry.
Yeah, it happened with URLs. I won't go 4chan.
It only works with URL shorteners, so don't click on all links or shit like that.
I'm gonna go to sites that actually moderate this shit, like Reddit. I love Reddit. Reddit is godly. 4chan's where that dumb shit's at. Some cool stuff happens on 4chan, not gonna lie, but I'll just watch the YouTube videos of it going down.
And now that we know Gabe's there, I'm a lot less inclined to go.
Well, I don't think he has anything else better to do. It's what? It's 2 a.m. He's over here talking about 4chan. We're just doing homework. Being goody two-shoes. So, Gabe, why we got you here? So, what did you not understand about what Harvey said earlier?
Wait, hang on. Before you answer that question, Gabe, let's back up. Let's back up a tad. Can you actually read? You never answered the question.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I read it a college.
Hey,
I was just curious.
Harvey,
So was like directly
something
above.
just clicked. You were telling me that link was shiny. I just got what you meant by that. I left the Discord. I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Well, we were just asking Gabe about if he could read or not, and he said he reads at a college level, but he definitely doesn't type at a college level.
He certainly does not.
I don't know about that one, Chief. But alright. Netflix.
Hey Larry, we have a staff member, Baba. He's a great guy, but very young, 11 years. He types more coherently than you.
Oh, man. So, I heard you wanted to buy staff for $45.
Yes.
Nah.
Rosa Parks.
Yeah, Rosa Parks would have got it for free.
What about Martin Luther King?
No.
It was Uriel in this chat.
Nope.
Oof, he's
Probably got
different.
annoyed.
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure you went and watched
Yeah.
Netflix.
I got
I
a
meant-
beautiful MLK meme, but I can't send it.
You gonna answer the question?
Huh?
What'd you not understand about what Harvey was saying?
Because if you have a lockpick and you're with 4 different people outside of somebody's door, I should be able to shoot you without getting warned.
Here, I'll say something. People loiter outside of my house. Does that mean I should shoot them?
Yes.
No, it means if 4 different people are outside of your house and shooting your house, then you'd probably think they're trying to kill you.
Well, shooting their house,
Like,
that's a
if
different
me and 4
conversation
different people
because
come
I
outside
don't
your house
believe
with an
you ever.
AK-47
from
and
what
start
I
shooting
know-
it, don't you think we're probably not up to any good?
Well, from what I know and from the conversation, you were talking about lock picking.
Well,
Because
no, they
shooting
were
a
not
base
lockpicking.
is
that
different
was a
than
separate. That was
lockpicking.
a separate discussion altogether. The original conversation
I had a
is why are
tendency
we
to
allowed
stop
kill
reading your
someone?
shit
Why
once
are we
I
allowed
saw
to
you were
kill a
not
kidnapper who
coherent.
has a baton who hasn't invented, but we're not allowed to kill a raider who hasn't invented?
Yeah, because you're able to defend yourself in raiding scenario, but if I have my back turned and someone walks up behind me,
I can't really do anything. Like, you can defend yourself in a kidnapping scenario because you can run away if they have a baton out, but you can't really do that in a lockpicking scenario unless you could shoot through your door, which I have to.
it's not hard to walk up behind someone and knock them the fuck out.
Well, yeah, but from my understanding, it's KOS if they have a baton out. You can run away from someone if you see they have a baton out. You can't exactly just open the door when someone's lockpicking if you don't want to get killed immediately. They don't really have any way to.
Well, in a normal
to
situation,
kidnap you from a
if you're a
distance,
normal Dark
whereas
RP player,
lockpickers can kill
you
from
would
a
build a
distance.
base, so you would have fading doors, so once they get through that first door, there'll be more they have to go to, and you'd have some way to
So the
shoot
rules
them.
entirely rely on someone knowing how to build unraidable bases in Dark RP?
Not
Oh,
unraidable.
That just makes
Oh,
defensible.
rules for people
Yeah,
that wanna
unraidable
play
bases are
without
against the
spending an
rules.
hour on a base.
Man, dude,
So,
you just
Gabe-
don't understand.
I guess
you
Gabe,
just don't understand,
Gabe,
actually.
if we're gonna spend any time actually discussing like serious matters, it's fine the server. But like if we're just gonna talk over each other, there's no point. So, listen, Gabe, I don't like you still. I'm just gonna say this one more time. I find it really hard, like that you don't understand this unless you're trying not to understand it, because it makes. Anyways,
Well,
at the
hold
end of
on,
the day,
Harvey. What if
Larry,
Harvey, what if we have Lonely and Uriel share their input on it? Because they're the only people that have not got really into this argument.
I mean, okay.
I really don't want to involve myself just because it's really not needed in reality.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't understand us, but you know that's when
Yeah.
another person shares their point of view, and maybe he'll understand that.
Uriel, what do you think about KOS on restraints and knockout batons out?
I personally feel, I think it's fine because with how you've stated with how people act on calling an event is fair opinion.
All right.
For the most part, I would agree with that.
Okay, so 3 out of 4 people have acknowledged they agree it's okay.
Okay, so thank you, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to explain it myself, and I'm gonna explain a little bit of the history behind it too, Gabe, because I think the context is also important. Basically, there I was, newly elected community manager, and I was making a new set of rules, and I realized, hey, when is it okay for someone to be shot when they call an event? Because I've been in the situation where as soon as I call raid, I'm killed. When I feel like it should be only when I take in-game serious roleplay action. And with bases, if you have a KOS sign and you violate any of the KOS terms, which in most situations, if you're raiding, you're probably going to have to break a KOS term before you actually start lockpicking, thereby giving defenders more time to respond. That's a bit of a rabbit trail. I'll get back to it though. But basically, terrorists was another one. I don't think I've actually fully resolved that yet, but sometimes terrorists would be killed just for calling /event terror. And I'm like, hey, in a lot of ways, that's kind of metagame because they haven't actually acted on it yet. I want to make it so that, you know, the people that are calling terror, the people that are calling raid can't be, you know, killed unless they do something that breaks some rule or KOS sign, etc. So you know, it was kind of on that principle that I started looking at kidnappers, and I'm like, you know, if you're lock picking a door, someone can see that even if they have no KOS sign, and if they're the owner of the base,
How would
added
they
to
see
the
it? Like,
what?
cameras, for example, how, like, for someone locking your door, say you
Camera.
were,
Some people will have cameras. Some people can be outside of their base, visibly watching that person
well,
lock
what
pick
if
the
you're not
door.
outside of your base? What if you're inside and they're not near a
Camera?
window?
If you're inside your base, then you need to set up a defense.
So,
A lot of people.
Your rules relies on somebody spending time making an unraidable base with props when they should just be able to shoot
here,
anyone that's
I'll
trying
hit,
to break
Larry,
into your house.
Larry,
I'll hit him back with something real quick.
Larry, please.
What is Gary's mod?
Garrett. Oh god, this shit again. Just like the do you know how to read shit.
No. Here. It's simple. What is it?
It's a video game?
No. What is Gary's mod? What is its purpose?
What the fuck's wrong
No,
with you?
that's not what I meant. Okay? It's a sandbox game. And in a sandbox game, you create stuff. Okay? So by your logic, you're saying in a sandbox game that people will not create stuff. And I know a whole lot of people join a server and spend hours building
Well, then
bases.
why aren't we allowed to create props to climb onto buildings?
Because that violates the server's rules. Unless if you own a building, you can build to the top of it.
Server's rules then.
Because it's our server and we determine what we want to allow. There's other servers that allow you to do that.
So basically, hey you dumb cunt, fuck you, I don't care. Like,
no, it's not that. It's because people. No, here.
Just we're the mods and we don't care what you think.
Well, obviously we care what you think because we're still here having a discussion with you and we didn't ban your ass. Obviously.
Yes, you only power tripped half as much as normal admins. I applaud you.
Yes. Oh my god, you're so right. Oh, Go ahead, Harvey. I'm sorry, he's right. I'll stop.
I think okay. The first time that you interrupted me, which is fine, you said, that the rules rely on you building an indestructible fucking whatever, unpenetratable base, okay? Which, that's an exaggeration, we can both agree. We don't allow bases to be built so that they're not raidable, right?
Well, I didn't mean that. I meant very hard to raid bases.
Okay, but that's what you said. So how about you start saying what you mean?
Well, unraidable base. Like, for example, my friend has a base that he calls an unraidable base. It's possible to get in there. He has fading doors and keypads, etc., etc. But it's functionally impossible to get in there because it involves 3 different fade doors, and he has a fence up so that if someone even comes up to the first fade door, he just shoots them in the face immediately.
I have successfully held off.
Impossible to get in there.
I have successfully held off. I have successfully held off raid with no defenses from like 3 people. You don't have to be a building fucking genius. You don't have to spend hours on YouTube. You just have to know how to make a fucking fading door, and the staff are more than happy to help you with that. But yeah, the rules make it so that if you don't have any sort of defenses in your base, if you're on the inside of your base when raiders raid it, you're gonna be at a disadvantage unless you know how to unless you can shoot better than them, right? Yeah, absolutely. Our rules aren't requiring that you become a basing genius to build an unraidable base. That's not even close to what it is, right?
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question here.
Okay.
If, for example, I'm in game, I have not built anything around my base. It's just a normal
Mic
wall.
off.
The only defense is just locked door.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there, let's say, Bitcoin mining. And I'm just sitting there mining my Bitcoin when all of a sudden I hear someone lockpicking. Well, no, not if I hear someone lockpicking. And all of a sudden I look out my window and I see someone outside of my door with a gun. And they start shooting at my base. They don't shoot at me in particular or shoot through the window. They just start shooting my base, and they're right next to me. They're right next to my base, I mean. And they have 4 guys next to them, all of which jobs allow them to raid.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question?
Should I be allowed to open the door and shoot them all in the face with my gun?
There is currently, to my knowledge, valid KOS reason in your sign for people
and I have a KOS sign as well, and they're right next to the KOS sign.
Is putting up a KOS sign that fucking hard for you, dude?
Well, no, I'm saying if I have a KOS sign up. Because the guy who I killed and got warned for killing had he was next to a KOS sign.
He was next to... You have to have your own KOS sign.
Well, it was another person's base, and I was a law enforcement person, so what exactly was I supposed to do there?
You don't get to enforce someone else's KOS sign, even if you're law enforcement. Only enforce the laws.
He was shooting at someone's base and trying to break in with 4 people. Am I supposed to just not arrest him?
Not unless he's breaking the law.
He was shooting at a base.
Okay, and if that's against the law, they could have arrested.
Well, it wasn't against the law because the mayor hadn't made it against the law, but the mayors are all fucking stupid.
Then you weren't supposed to act on it as a police officer, which is very specifically a government rule.
Like, anytime I change more than, 5 laws, I get immediately 10 terrorists and then a cop letting them all in with his key.
So, Gabe, here's the issue. Complain than actually understand, and that's fine. I get that, but I'm not going to continue to discuss this with you if you're going to continue to talk over me when I'm trying to respond to you and answer your questions. Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay, so again, even if it's BS, even if the mayor's obnoxious and not being intelligent, right, you are required to abide by the laws, enforce broken laws as you see them, but you're not allowed to arrest or kill anyone unless they're harming you for doing anything that's currently illegal. So if at the time someone was violating another person's KOS sign rule and, obviously looking like they're about to raid them, if raiding and shooting in public and having guns out in public is not illegal, then as a police officer, no, you can't do anything. Now, if they're violating the KOS sign, if you're a party member or an owner of the base, you absolutely can do something. And that everything I just explained to you is in the rules.
I got a question for you, Gabe. Okay. I think he walked off. I think you made him mad. He went.
I think
and
he's tired.
Or he muted you.
Or muted all of us. Maybe he just wanted to
Yeah.
chill in here.
Hello?
Maybe too.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, there he goes.
I've been talking the whole time. I don't know why you
Oh.
couldn't hear me.
We just now heard you.
Mike
So,
may have
how long
come.
have you played Dark RP, Gabe?
Probably like a year, probably.
Okay. Well, maybe it's just
But
me
most
and
of
I'm
that was spent
old-fashioned.
just playing Kidnapper and being a minge, so I didn't. That technically doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't we all? Um. So, from my experience, from when I first started playing Dark RP, it was a little different. And from how it's set out now, the whole reason why I took over the rules and made changes to how it was and did stuff like that was to make it how it used to be. Because how it used to be back in the day, if someone was on your KOS line, you wouldn't shoot him unless you just straight up didn't like him. Okay?
You know
Back.
what's funny?
Hmm.
I actually read a lot on r/gmod about the old days of Dark RP. In the old days of Dark RP, a bunch of people would talk about how the admins basically never interfered in a roleplay situation unless you were like blatantly like mass RDMing, and you didn't really have
No,
to
they.
event or advert ever. So
Whenever
maybe you
I've
should start
started playing,
implementing that.
when I started playing, they did. They did interfere. I started playing 4 to 5 years ago. That's when I
Because
started playing Dark RP.
all the things I've seen, the admins never interfered, and they just left it up to basically mob justice.
No.
It was just like if they were
I
mass
staffed a
RDMing
server
or
4 years
prop
ago.
climbing or something like that.
I mean,
They actually let the people have fun and didn't just interfere in their roleplay like a minge.
yeah.
Well, you mentioned that as to say what? That's not the case now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the case now because it's like, for example, if we were going by that example, I wouldn't have been warned for doing that because that would have whether that was RDM or not would have been left up to the mob. For example, like if someone really thought I RDM, they could say, "Yo, guys, he RDM'd me," and they can talk it over. And then if they really wanted to, they could come and just shoot me in the face.
Gotcha.
Or they could demote me with vote, or really anything that doesn't involve an admin beaming down from the sky and interrupting roleplay and teleporting me to a sky base and beating the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, because we beat the shit out of you. Yeah.
Actually,
Are you sure you're talking about the right server?
Well, no, that's not exactly what happens on the server, but it's the same, like, teleporting, etc., etc.
So you just exaggerate everything?
Well, no, because the thing I described actually did happen to me. That was my first time ever meeting an admin on a Gmod server. This guy talked about admins, and I misunderstood. I thought admins were, like, police officers that would, like, come by and, like, if you were, like, doing something, they'd arrest you or something.
Well, some servers do that
RDM
where the
some
whole...
guy, and I was teleported to this, like, 50-foot sky base, and this one admin just muted me and started hitting me with the fist tool. I had no idea what the fuck was going on, because I had no idea what these people were and what they were doing.
From what I recall, servers used to do that. Some servers used to, where the whole police force would be the staff team. Only the staff team were allowed to be the police force. They'd go around, they would enforce the police rules, and they would also enforce the server rules. A lot of servers don't do that.
Yeah.
It was a couple.
If I had a Gmod server, that's pretty much what I want to implement. Like, if I had a Gmod server, like, it would just be, there would be no teleporting
You know how many complaints
admins
you'd
unless
get from
it was
players
like,
about how they
yeah,
couldn't be
but I
police?
could deal with that, and we could deal with it accordingly. Like, for example, it would only be if it was really bad stuff like mass RDM or something like that. But like if somebody's like prop climbing or something, the admins would be like real physical police officers that would have to come over there and say, "Yo, what are you doing? Stop!" And like they'd have to arrest them or do something like roleplay related.
Well, we got sidetracked. I'm gonna get back to what I was talking about. Kind of got us sidetracked.
You sly dog, you've had me monologuing about Gmod.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one that started talking about it. But so back in the day, you know, the good old days, the days I miss, um, you wouldn't just shoot people to shoot people. Recently, Gary's Mod has just been a lot of people spend their time just trying to kill people. You know, that's what it is. You know, back in the day, you would sit there, someone would be outside your base, and you'd walk up to your window and you'd say hi to him. You'd be like, "Yo, what's up, dude?" And you would actually just have a conversation with him, stuff like that. And that's why some of the rules that we have implemented are the way they are, prevents people from being those salty little fucks that just shoot anyone that gets close to their base or shoots at their base or crosses their KOS line. Because it's so fucking dumb for a citizen with no weapons out or anything like that, just a citizen that just spawned in, to walk across someone's KOS line and just get fucking shot down. And that's so dumb. There's no point in it.
Well, yeah, but the problem is dumb stuff like that has happened on the server as well. Like, with admins and the rules. Like, for example, I got warned because there was this guy repeatedly using the prop tool to... well, no, it wasn't warned, sorry, I'm making up my thing. There was this guy that was repeatedly using I think it was the dupe tool to spawn, like, basically clones of the jail cell that you guys use when you jail people, and he was just spawning, he was just clicking it on people, and
Yeah,
so that
ban
they
him through
basically be
console.
trapped inside it.
I'm
And I
pretty
had
sure.
to get Larry to ban them, because the trial mod wouldn't do anything.
I am
If
Larry.
this was old Gmod, I would have just been able to RDM them, because, you know, they were repeatedly locking people inside jail cells in front of everyone.
Just because one person is violating the rules doesn't mean you should. Because it just makes you just as bad as a person as that person.
Well, they were repeatedly
Okay.
essentially
Okay.
kidnapping
So,
people if we're not going by the rules.
people are shooting other
So I
people
get to kill them.
every day. Does that mean I should go and shoot someone? No.
Let's take this for example. Say someone comes up to you and they plop down a cage behind you and they take you and they throw you inside of the cage and they lock it and they refuse to let you out.
Here, I got a question. What did you do?
Doesn't someone else get to shoot them even though that would technically be murder?
Here, I got a question. So when that guy was yelling people, what did you do?
There was a trial mod less than 10 feet away, and I said, "Yo, what are you doing? Ban him, he's literally prop blocking right in front of you." And he moved, he was in a sit with someone and moving around and speaking, and, I forget what he said, but he refused to. That's why
Well, clearly because he was in a sit.
If he's dealing with the case, why would he just automatically just drop everything and help you?
Boom, enter.
We encourage staff members to take their time when they handle cases. They don't have
And why
to
couldn't
just
they at least
answer
jail
to
him
you.
while he was repeatedly prop blocking people?
Maybe because he's...
Go ahead, Harvey.
Well, no, look, I mean, the guy you even... team mod, right? And trial moderators because they don't have a whole lot of experience normally staffing, right? And so, yeah, you're going to get slower reaction times with staff that are lower
This wasn't
ranked.
slow reaction time. This guy prop blocked me like 10 times within like 15 minutes.
We're
and
talking
I
about
understand,
staff.
I understand that, but I'm saying if he's in a sit, he's going to put all his focus in. Well,
yeah, but this was like 15 minutes. How long does sits last?
Honestly, depends on the situation.
Depends on the sit.
But I'm almost positive. I think 15 minutes is a bit of an exaggeration. I was there, but I'm not calling you a liar. But given the fact that you've exaggerated all the value you've given to us, it wouldn't surprise me if it was more like a really long feeling 5 minutes, right? I wasn't there. Maybe you're right. But at the end of the day, yeah, it could have been a 5-minute sit or it could have been 15-minute sit. I understand how frustrating that is. As a person currently being wronged, that another staff member nearby isn't willing to help you. But it's not like, from his standpoint, he was, or our standpoint, he was being unreasonable either, because he had already made a commitment to deal with another issue, and he wanted to resolve it before moving on to the next.
Well, it contradicts that. He was talking to me, like, for example, like, he would be talking to the other person, and I would be like, "Yo, what are you doing? Jail him, he's prop blocking, what is this?" And then he would stop and he would look at me. He would say something like, "Yo, I can't do anything," or something like that, even though the fact that he was trying on. Like, and he would talk to me for like 5 minutes or more while I was sitting in this dude's jail cell that he was not allowed to put me in.
Can I ask you a question?
It wasn't that he was just stopping the sit for a second. Like, he would talk to me for like 5 minutes. and just be like, I can't do anything, sorry.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So, I noticed you have a problem with all these things, but yet the other day when you asked me, you DM'd me and asked me to ban these people, you didn't have a problem with me banning people without you providing real proof. What's up with that?
The thing was that, if I remember correctly, let me look in my DMs
So,
that
here, I got a
remember the
question.
exact
So,
text.
if you think the person is violating the rules, do you think you have the say in them being punished?
Well, that was a special case. Let me look.
I
Oh
mean, I
yeah,
think it still
that was a
applies.
special case because it was moderators abusing their powers and essentially
No. You messaged
being
me
complete
about
power
people
tripping
violating
assholes.
rules, and you provided
What
Steam
I
IDs,
messaged
and
you about was 3 senior moderators, including Chef Homo, were essentially
no, you
abusing
messaged me.
powers by muting me and refusing to hear my side of the story in a sit. Essentially, what happened was that I got in a sit with these 3 moderators because these 2 moderators got pissed at me for something.
No,
yeah, Uriel was the one in the sit. And then one of them, Mochi, called me for another set that had already
No, you
concluded,
messaged me
and
Tuesday,
he wanted to give me a worse
8:29
punishment.
p.m. You said, "Hey Larry, sorry to bother you. These 2 guys both RD'd me in 2 separate sits and called the moderators for both sits, Drug and Lemon." Okay. And you said,
Okay, that was not the latest one that I told you to ban people for, so now I have to look further back. Because I thought you were talking about the latest thing I told you to ban people for, which was the moderator thing.
and then
So, yeah,
you had a very snarky response to that situation. Whenever I told you that you didn't have real evidence, you said something along the lines of that that I was letting all the racist trolls run free. You said something along those lines.
yeah, because, these one RDM'd me in sit, and then these 2 guys were friends, and they RDM'd me in sit, 1 time each, so that was me being RDM'd in sit 3 times within 10 minutes, and then all 3 of these guys, the moderator jailed them, and then they all called the moderator the N-word, and he refused to even warn any of them when they literally called him the N-word. That's racist.
How am I supposed to
It
take
wasn't
action?
ironic or joking, they just called him a nigger.
How am I supposed to take action against these individuals without evidence?
Because how would I come up with such a detailed story? Like I wouldn't just
Okay.
fucking DM you and be like, hey, detail, etc. I'm not just gonna write these fucking detailed ass
go
short
talk to victim.
stories just to get random.
Gabe, maybe you wouldn't.
You'd be surprised. People have done that shit in the past.
Because it seems like a waste of time. It's like a boy cried wolf kind of situation.
I mean, I
Gabe,
think Go ahead, Harvey.
Just gonna say, I've been in situations where even the logs were and a guy has fucking weaseled his way out after talking 15 minutes, making up a bunch of stories, to the point where he's like, he finishes the conversation of the sit that I called, saying, "But you know what? I don't want you to ban this guy. He's a good guy, whatever." Like acting as if I'm in the wrong. People are very creative, very manipulative, and it's not all unto common that people.
No, I'm not saying I haven't lied in a sit before. I've done that before, but I wouldn't just DM Larry with a short story that was completely false.
But how do we know?
I've lied in a sit to save my own ass before, but I've never just DM'd a moderator asking them to ban people when it wasn't true.
Well, it's also an element of, you're right. I think that DMing moderators to ban people usually is not done out of malice. However, there's a lot of times when people that are reporting those instances with no proof don't actually know that what they think is a rule being violated is perfectly.
I can give a great instance. This happened the other day. You may know the player Sponge. I think
I saw him in passing, but I haven't interacted with him.
It was either you or someone else. They DM'd me telling me that this guy was prop locking the PD. Sponge was.
Yeah, that was Sponge. This guy and another guy.
What turned out is he actually wasn't prop blocking the PD, and I banned this guy wrongly because I put trust in the person that was reporting it.
Hold on a second. They didn't have keypads, and they just had a barrier up that didn't allow anyone, even law enforcement, to get in. They had no keypads on the outside.
Well, I had multiple different people tell me otherwise.
Well, I literally sent you a pic of it, so I can tell you that that's incorrect. I literally sent you a picture of it when it happened.
You sent me a picture of one entry to the PD, and I decided to trust that.
Okay, hold on. Here, hold on.
I mean, it's not that important. I was proving a
So,
point. There's no point to dig any
hold on.
deeper. It's in the past.
Like, okay, I can't send it to you anymore, cause blocked
But
me. But
let's get back to what we were
It's the main
originally
entry, like where you go in.
Gabe.
And then,
Gabe, Larry's trying to speak. Please, let him speak.
Now let's get back to the whole original thing about it. So the reason that he has the whole you can shoot cultists with batons out as a rule is because I know me as well as other people, players have called kidnapped whenever they're just walking behind me or when I'm standing there and has just straight up knocked me out, or they've just ran up and hit me. Okay? Now, that troll was not that troll, that job was very easily abusable and people could easily troll with it. Now, this new rule makes it where it can't be as easily abused, and people have to be more sophisticated with the job. Yes, it may make it harder, but as you saw earlier when we were having an argument in Dark RP chat, someone stated how they enjoyed that. Okay?
No. I believe it was Gabe who made that point of how it was completely pivoted and 180 said it was BS. It was Gabe that sent that wall of text saying how much it was a good thing and a good addition, and then as soon as I jumped in to add something further, he immediately compared it to doors being locked. I don't know what you just said. I didn't hear you because I was still talking when you started talking.
Mod having an opinion.
You're allowed to have an opinion. Like, you expressed an opinion and then pivoted on it completely, which was surprising, but I didn't say anything up about that until now.
Okay, well, as I was saying, now let's get back to the base situation. Yes, you can build to defend your base, but as Harvey stated, you don't have to. And it's not hard to fucking defend your base, okay? Not at all. A lot of people don't raid it in big groups. There are some, but it's rare. Okay? From what I know, it could have changed easily. I haven't been on server in a couple of days. Could have changed. Alright? It's that easy. Now, your door is locked. They have to pick lock it. Yes, you can hear that. It's not hard for you to wait for that door to open and blast them once that door opens and shoot them all. Now, yes, we see your point of view and we see your argument.
There was 5 of them and they all had guns trying to break
That's a
in.
rare circumstance.
Like, for example, ask any person that's been on the front lines in the army if they would try to kill someone if there was 5 people with guns outside their door. Like, none of them would answer.
You mentioned something earlier that made me roll my eyes. You mentioned, okay, so a smart player who was playing on a server would not have a single locked door when they're having bit miners. That would not be a normal smart player. They would want to protect their stuff. They would take the time to build a base and build defenses to protect it. Okay? Now, you saying that is kind of ignorant. Okay? To roleplay itself. To how people roleplay on the server. Because I know the majority of people that make bases spend however much time. It depends on how well a builder and how much you care about your base. Okay, you can spend 5 minutes, you can spend 2 hours. I like taking my time and spending like 2 hours when I make a base because I like making everything nice and clean and perfect. Okay, but it's up to the person. Alright? I used to be a hardcore role player. I used to take this shit dead serious. I used to have the biggest bases when I roleplayed on Ice 3 way back in the day. I had huge ass gangs. We all just got together.
Suck the biggest cocks.
It was fun. Oh yeah, we sucked each other's cocks so hard. Oh my god, we all came every night. It was great. Alright? But yes, we understand what you're saying, but you need to understand our reasoning for it because it makes roleplay for regular players better because everyone was getting fucked over because they would get knocked out and there was nothing they can do preemptively before that.
People getting raided isn't people getting fucked over?
Not really, because you can defend yourself.
I don't like when someone raids me.
The whole thing about it is, one, you can defend yourself, the other one you couldn't. Now you can with the other one. So in both situations, you can now defend yourself. Alright?
Well, the thing is, this wasn't me defending myself, this was me defending someone else in this scenario. I was a law enforcement officer, I saw someone shooting at a building.
We don't
We've
care about
already
that.
discussed
we don't care about
that was wrong.
Alright, so you're just gonna say, no, we don't care about that when I bring up
We,
an
we,
actual...
yeah, we already
Over.
discussed it. Okay, Gabe.
We've already
I
want
discussed
you-
pretty
I
much
want you to
everything
do me a
here. We're
favor,
discussing
Gabe.
it again, because we're still arguing about it.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to put one finger on your left earlobe and press it in and close it. Because I want you to listen to what I say. I don't want it to go into one ear and out the other. Alright?
That's the weirdest expression I've ever heard in my life.
Alright? Well, now you know I'm serious. There you go. We understand what you're saying. And we're all... You have the 5 highest community members here. I mean 4. You have the 4 highest here to sit here and
Three.
talk.
Or gayest.
The 4. It's me,
Oh, gay
you,
mom.
Two.
Only,
To unmute
you're...
me.
2.
Well, technically 2 because the other 2 are just fucking listening and laughing. But... But yes, you have the people in charge of the whole community's attention over this little thing because we care and we want to make sure you understand this. For some, at this point, any other community would not give a shit. Honestly, I don't even know why we're still here talking about this, but for some reason we still fucking care about getting this resolved. But it's hard for us to resolve this with you if you're not gonna listen to what we have to say, because it doesn't seem like we've. At this point, my head is hurting because we keep reiterating the same shit.
And then also, Larry, but I'm just going to interject to also add on here. Gabe, in regards to the situation that you keep referencing, like when you were police, I explained step by step how you were in the wrong, and you said nothing. You had no further questions. How is that not resolved yet?
Because I was just tired of arguing with you and wanted to carry on with my day.
I don't think you were tired of arguing. You couldn't think of anything to say that you just like.
You can spit theories all you want,
Well,
but I told you.
Gabe, well, he does have a point, and he just proved it because you said you were tired of arguing, and yet you're still
I was
arguing.
tired of arguing because I physically did not want to argue anymore.
You're arguing
I
right
could
now.
have argued for the rest of eternity because I knew I was correct, but I did not feel like it. I was physically tired and worn out. And
I got
did
a
not feel
question.
like it.
Are you always correct?
No, because I'm not a narcissist.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just gotta make sure. We just gotta make sure. Alright. Alright, so, fuck. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Okay, what is
When
it?
in the next 5 minutes are you gonna unmute me?
Yeah, you're not getting unmuted for a while.
Maybe a month.
If you didn't want to get muted, you should have been more respectful, and
So
you
when
should
in
have
the next
acted more
24
mature.
hours,
You
then?
shouldn't have acted immature. There you go. I called you immature. Okay. All right. So now I just stooped to your level because I decided to call you immature. There we go. Congrats. Let's all clap our hands. So. Yeah, you're gonna stay server muted. You decided to spam chat. I didn't open the link. I didn't care enough to open it. It was still spam and it still violated our Discord rules in here. So, you got server muted. I think we'll probably discuss it later how long you should be server muted. Of course.
I say you should mute yourselves and then make me owner.
Oh yeah, obviously. I mean, I guess there's no point to talk anymore. We've already wasted each other's time a whole lot. It's 2:39 in the morning.
Before I get off to go to bed, I want to say you're all autistic nigger faggots, and I hope you die in a gas chamber.
I know, we will. Damn, fuck. Well,
That was seriously like talking to a brick wall. I'm not even kidding you.
Welcome back.
Vote for Donald Trump and build
What's
the
up,
wall.
brick wall?
Dude.
Can we all at him and call him? Oh, he can't see any of the chats. He can't see any.
Wait, can he not even read the...
No, he can't. I banned him from the Santa Circle jerk because he wanted to spam him spamming it.
Holy fuck, dude. Why did I just spend that much time on a guy that didn't even have an issue?